Hey YouTube, this is AC Tech Reviews, and this is my quick look at the Nexus 5X made by LG. So this is a 5.2 Android device. It has a USB-C port at the bottom, and I'll go into more detail later about that. 3.5mm jack. You have a microphone at the top, and probably one of the best, I think, one of the best Nexus cameras on a Nexus device. It's a 12.3 megapixel Sony sensor, and you have your fingerprint sensor in the back. And on this particular colorway, this black color scheme has a nice tactile feel, which, as you can see, I didn't clean it off because I wanted to make sure that you could understand how much of a finger magnet or dirt magnet this back is. However, I think the trade-offs are worth the fingerprints because it's a really nice feeling texture, and I have a lot of grip with the phone because of it. However, I'm not sure if the white and the mint colorway provide the same kind of texture, but I'll probably think that if you got a white phone, it may not stay white for very long. And here's a dual tone flash, and I believe this is for focusing. So I just wanted to point out that this phone is extremely light because it's made of mainly plastic, which I don't have a problem with. I actually prefer plastic phones over phones made of so-called premium materials like aluminum or metals. Personally, I feel that this phone provides a much better grip without any third-party cases. So one of the advantages of having a Google Nexus phone is the updates. And so far, since I've had this phone from launch, I've gotten pretty much, I would say, 3 to 4 updates. We went from Marshmallow 6.0 to 6.01, and then so far we've had about 3 security updates. Currently, we're on the March update. They typically come in about a week or two into the month, but that's a lot better than some other OEM Android devices that don't really get security updates. So just real quick, let me demonstrate the fingerprint sensor. It's located right at the back, which I prefer because typically when you're looking at your phone, you can just rest your finger on the sensor and it'll unlock your phone relatively quickly. I just touch it, there you go, and it takes you right to your home screen. Very useful, and because of it I actually use Android Pay because I feel a bit more secure with this. Occasionally it will ask you for a pattern unlock, such as if you swipe up you can choose to do a pattern unlock. Every so often it will, despite using your fingerprint, it will ask you for a pattern lock for added security. I'm not quite sure why it does that. It seems to be kind of random. Anyway, that's the security aspect of the phone. So with Android 6.0, with Android Doze, this phone will give you ample battery life for at least a full day worth of use. I typically don't have any issues. On the really heavy days or when I have really poor reception, the USB-C port supports rapid charging, and the thing is amazing. You can charge up your phone probably to 50% in a matter of minutes, and because of that I feel like this phone is definitely usable. The one caveat is that because it's USB-C, you either have to have adapters or cables that are compatible with a USB-C, and you pretty much can't bum off any other cable that's around, depending on where you are. So a quick comment on the USB-C port. The rapid charging will only work if you're using a charger that is compatible for rapid charging, and the one that comes in a box will do that. And there are probably some other third-party chargers that will do that as well. But I do have a quick charge 2.0 charger that does not rapid charge, so you might want to keep that in mind. But if you can get rapid charging, this phone won't pose any problems in terms of battery life for you. So I just want to say that this phone is really fast. occasionally I've heard that people have issues with lag, but I typically reboot my phones every week or so, and I really don't face that kind of issues. If I do notice lag, I would just reboot my phone. But in terms of frame rates, I typically don't really see any problems. So here's a really interesting thing about Android, which is the multitask button here on the right. And typically, I really find this feature useless for Android. I find that it just propagates so many cards sometimes that it's just easier to go directly to the app that you're looking for, and it just seems a lot simpler in my mind. So audio quality is really good from the one mono speaker in the front. Calls are loud and clear. I typically don't have a problem hearing the caller on the other end, which is always a good thing. So as I mentioned earlier, I think this is one of the best cameras on a Nexus device to date. It's a 12.3 Sony sensor, and it's some of the best pictures that it's the best camera that I've had on a phone before. And I typically shoot with HDR on, and it's pretty quick, and the pictures are just amazing. And I like the cool feature where if you just double tap on the power button, it launches the camera and you're ready to go. So my final thoughts, I think for $300 US for the 16GB model, I think this is a really good price for a really good phone. I know there's a lot of really good phones out there now, especially the Motorola G or some of the Chinese manufactured phones that are under $200. But the one thing this phone will provide is quick updates from Google, if you value that, particularly security updates, and also potentially new versions of Android. So this phone is probably going to get Android N probably later on this year, and if you were to buy a cheaper third-party OEM phone, you probably won't be able to get those updates. So in my mind, for a little bit more money, I would definitely get a Nexus device. I will probably get the next Nexus device that comes out in the same screen size, especially now that Google has really paid more attention to their camera. At this point, I feel like there really isn't any kind of shortcoming in terms of getting this phone or an iOS device. I think I've seen a whole bunch of head-to-head comparisons with this phone and an iPhone 6s, and in terms of image quality, they are very comparable for half the price. Alright, I guess that's it for today. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, or you can ask me questions at actechreviews on Twitter, or you can email me at actechreviews@gmail.com. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.